face is really close to the screen there. I was just checking everything was working. Morning, how are we this morning? Are we feeling like we've had a good week? First week of mixed energy. Do you feel more energized? Do you feel a little tight? So today we're going to be doing a mixed body class. We're going to be using some weights and a band for this class. So don't worry if you don't have those. You can do everything without it. But we're going to be using a little bit of tension, a little bit of weight to keep us feeling strong and challenge us a little bit more. There we are, just leveling up my camera. Okay, so let's have a little warm up. First of all, before we do anything, we're going to stand. Let's bring our feet together so we're challenging our balance. We're going to lift our arms up, all the way up. So I think yesterday we did a resist class and my chest is definitely feeling it, so hopefully yours is as well if you did that class. So we're just going to open up those arms, bringing those shoulders down the back, really feeling that connection. A couple more here. Tuck that tailbone grip, that core connected. Lovely. From here, we're just going to push one arm back, then the other. Palms facing forward slightly, so that the shoulders are connecting onto the ribs. Again, you may have seen me, I was slightly reclined there, so extending backwards. So just make sure your core is tight, not tight, connected. I would never say tight, I don't know why I said that. I would say tight in terms of muscles, feeling tight, but rotate those shoulders. Well done. From here, we're going to place our palms. We're going to turn, we're going to lift, just warming up that upper body. Turn out from the shoulder and then bring back in. So dumb waiter and then lift. Great for shoulder joint mobility. Lovely. Two more. Just out, staying here. We're just going to do big circles with the arms, holding it there. Palms facing up again or forward, it's up to you. I'm quite enjoying that opening sensation across the chest with my palms facing up, rotating from the joint though. Okay, bring those arms down. Let's take the legs out wide. We're going to come down to one side and then go to the other side. And just keep going, one side then the other. Lovely. Keep going with a bit of pace. We are going to slow it down in a second. Okay, holding it there. Let's come all the way to the floor. Can you put one hand around the ankle towards the foot, other arm up, just holding it there. Try and stay even in both hips, so I'm shearing to one side, so lift up so that they're even. Go to the other side. Try not to shear, pull forward into the centre line rather than going over to one side. Arms down through your centre line. Let's come into a prayer pose. Holding that there. Long through the spine. Well done. I just did a post on achy joints and what we can do to help that. So if you haven't seen it on Instagram, definitely have a little view of that. But not only is it all done, it's a little bit of stretching, making sure we fit some Pilates in to counteract shortening of muscles when we lift weights, just rotating. But there's a few other tips there and some insights into why we start getting stiffer through the body, particularly in perimenopause and beyond. Anyway, hope you find it useful. Coming back up, all the way, just hanging down through your centre line. Just release everything towards the floor, rolling up. You can do some roll downs. Great way of mobilising the spine all the way down. Scoop. If you want to challenge yourself, bring your arms up, come up straight back. If you want to mobilise your spine a little bit more, rolling down and then rolling all the way back up. Well done. And again, scooping that tummy, draw the the weight should be through big toe, little toe and heel. Lifting up in that arch a little bit. Arm is coming forward, the arms. Make sure the hips aren't rotating, they're square to the mat, and you're just driving that leg forward, tapping the toe. Try and stay strong through your center, so you're not bending in the spine, you're just driving that leg forward, taking it back and forward again. Use the arms to pull down. Keep going. Doing about 15 of these. Let's do another 5. Well done. 4. Pelvic floor wants to really be switched on to help with that balance. 2 more. Okay, stay with this leg behind. Take the arms to the side of the hips. Really focus on something. And we're just going to lift and lower, so we're getting into the bottom. Now make sure the leg's not going out to the side. Inner thigh connection. Keeping the leg in alignment with the hip joint. So, just lift and lower. Connecting that tummy. Lots of balance here. Great for that supported leg as well. Pelvic floor wants to be switched on, core connected. And 3, 2, you should feel that in the bottom. 1. Swapping sides. Taking the arms up, drive that knee forward. Good. And again, just look at where your leg is going when you tap it back. Is it going really out to the side? If so, in the thigh connection. Or is it going the opposite way? Too far across the back of the leg. If so, you need a bit more quad connection. Keep going. Good. Simple exercise, but working the core, arms, upper body. You feel like you're pulling something back with those arms. You could use small hand weights here. Another 5. 4. Well done. Moving from those hip joints. 2 more. And 1. Holding it there. Find that spot on the floor where your eyes are directly forward and lift. Again, making sure the leg's not going out to the side. Lift and lower in that alignment of the hip joint. Good. Supported leg might be feeling this. And another. 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way up. How was that? Okay. Coming to standing now. We can get some hand weights if you've got them. These are just 1.5s. So I think my phone keeps moving. Bear with me. Let's just straighten you up a little bit. How's that? Is that better? Sorry if that's making you feel a bit sick. It's wobbling. I'm just going to keep that. Okay. How are we doing? Okay, so we are just going to have our arms up, maybe forward, so that elbows are facing forward. We're going to lift and lift. Okay, so we're just turning one way then the other. Holding that weight towards the knee. Lifting those knees as high as possible. Let's slow this down. Good. Rotate. Holding those weights either out to the side or in front. It's up to you. I quite like them actually out to the side. When you rotate, you sort of draw Great for working the obliques in that position. We're just going to add to that exercise now. We're going to add a squat. So little weights, just bounce them on the hips, coming down, lift, down, lift. Good. Make sure you're driving up through the bottom, through the legs, hinging in the hips as you come down. Well done. Now if you have sore knees, check the alignment. Maybe make the squat a little bit smaller. You don't have to go as deep. Keep it there. Woo. Lifting up. 3 more on either side. We're going to do 2 sets of these. 2. And 1. So we're not only working the legs there, we're working the core as well. Have a quick glass of water, or a bit of water. Keep hydrated. We're going into another one of those squat rotates. So, when using light weights, you can lift heavier if you want to. But with the niixBODY class, we want to challenge ourselves, but it's not a resist class, so you can take the weights down a little bit. Okay, are we ready? Talking too much whilst not working out. Hands on those weights, rested in them, and the weights just bouncing on the shoulder. Draw that tummy in, activate the glutes, going down and lift. Good. Really driving up on that supported leg. Use that out breath as you come up. Down low. Great for the hips. Keeping it there. Another 4 on either side. Be ready. Watch those knees. Are they turning in? 2 more. Either side. And 1. Well done, guys. We're going to come onto the floor now, and we're going to kneel. So if you have sore knees like I do, some cushions to soften underneath the knees. And we're going to do a lovely rotation here with the weight. So I'm actually going to use 1, mainly because I want to work my rotation more than lifting the weights. If you want to work harder and focus on the weight rather than rotation, you could lift a bit more weight. But just coming here, rotating hips forward. Now, you don't want to go into a back bend, so you really want to think about that connection through the front of your body. Hips stay forward, you rotate. So the weight just helps guide you from one side to the other. This is great for the obliques. Squeeze into that bottom. Lovely. If you find kneeling is difficult, you could do this in standing or even in seated. However, make sure that pelvis is staying forward. Often when we're standing, the pelvis starts rotating. This is not really working the spine. We want to really try and get rotation into the spine. So you need to stabilise the pelvis to allow for that twisting, a little bit like a tea towel. Really roll it up. 2 more on either side. Good. 1 more. Use that out breath. Lovely. Just coming down. We're going to come into some squats, kneeling. I love these. So again, starting with that length through the tailbone, you're coming out with the weight and driving back up. So you might want one in each hand at this point. So you can come forward. Be careful with your lower back as the arms come up. Good. Drive up through that bottom. Think about the lower half of the body rather than just the upper. Good. Now we're finding that. Try not to tuck the head in as you lift the weights. Spine in alignment. Squeeze through the pelvic floor and bottom. 2 more here. 1 more. We're going to pop one point down. You're just going to come here and you're going to do little pulses. Keeping it there. Little tiny pulses, not coming all the way up. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1. All the way up, well done. Okay. Just have a little breather. We're going to do one more exercise here. We're going to demonstrate it without the weights. And then if you want to add a weight, you can. So, these are a bit of a hip opener, working the core, working the glutes. We need to think about lower back with this though. If you've got low back pain, please be very careful with these. Small movement. So my legs are slightly wide and hip width apart. I'm not sticking my bottom out. I'm ducking my bottom under. Finding that connection through my core. Arms are coming up. And we're just leaning back. So I'm just going to turn so my feet are not on the mat. So, key to this, often see when people do it wrong, they start going into a back bend. You stay connected and you're just moving back. So now my core is activated. And then you come forward, you lift the arms. Let's do this without weights for the moment. Staying there. So you can just come up and down, shoulders down your back. You can lift the arms as well, if you want to. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a bit more, lift your arms here, come back up. So as you go back, connect, and then come back up. Well done. Lots of core, pelvic floor with this one, bottom. Opening up those hip flexors. Just make sure you're not going into that back bend. So you really feel like the ribs are over the pelvis. So that core is really fired up. Let's do 2 more here. On the last one, can you stay back? Can you do 5 arm lifts? Good. Could you go to 10? Keep drawing in that navel. Lovely. Front of the leg should be feeling it. 2 more to go. Come on. Can you feel it here and in the legs? Hopefully you can. Okay, from here. Coming into a seated position. Right, did something similar yesterday, but we're going to take the weights. If you've only got a 3, I suggest you only use 1 weight. If you've got 1s or 2, a 1.5's great. Even with a 2, you may, depends how strong you're feeling. See how you feel. We're coming into a V. You're lifting one arm up, then the other. Make sure it's not going into your lower back. Lift up. Come back into that V shape. Lift one arm, then the other, then back up. Now, if you feel like it's going into your lower back, scoop and around the spine so the abs, the core is more connected. It's quite hard to stay in that V shape when you lift in your neutral. So if you feel like you're falling out of it, and going into your lower back, I suggest you tuck the tailbone. Having that neutral spine and pelvis is pretty challenging. Come all the way up into seated, back down. Good. So not only are we working the core, you should be feeling this in the arms. Good, keep drawing everything in, all the way up, back to seated. Let's do 3 more here. Just slowly making your way through these. Have a break if you need to in between. 2. Well done. Don't race too much through these. Last few. Last one. Whoop. And all the way up. Well done. Coming down onto our backs. Find your neutral before you do anything. We're going to place the weights on the floor. Sorry, we don't need the weights for this one. Because we want to support our head. So we're going to start with, double knee fold. Let's just find that neutral. Just find the heaviness through your sacrum, back of the shoulders and the head. Interlace your hands behind your head. Let's curl up. So when you curl up, small nod of the chin just to lengthen the spine and then lift up. We don't want to be nodding the chin too much. It's just neutral spine. In the neck, so we're lengthening it with a small tuck and then coming up. Okay, we're lengthening one leg. This one we want to keep still. Curl up as much as possible. Draw the tummy in. Lengthen. Point as you come up. Flex foot as you come down. Point and flex. Now we want the pelvis to stay still. And send the gaze of your eyes towards your knees. Not down towards your pelvis, otherwise we often end up tucking too much in the neck. And keep lifting up that upper body, not through the neck, through the chest. Lovely. Flex, point and flex. And we're trying to move from the hip joint, keeping the pelvis still. So if you're tight in the hamstrings, you may not be able to bring that leg all the way up. This knee that's bent, just try and keep it over the hip. So we're having to use that core a little bit more. If you find it tough, you can bring the knee in towards the chest. 2 more on this side. So I've lost count. I think we did about 12 to 15 there. Just coming down, quick breather. Open up the arms. Double knee fold. Bring the hands back towards the back of the head to support them, interlaced and curling up. And we're pointing and flexing. Point and flex. And we really want to stabilize through that opposite leg. Good. Can you lift up a little bit higher? Well done. And flex. Point. Keeping it going. Really lengthen that leg as much as possible. That flexing helps lengthen the leg. Can you curl up a bit more? And 3 more to go. Are you ready? 3. Draw that tummy in. 2. And 1. Both legs down onto the floor. Bring your arms around, draw the legs in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Place those feet on the floor. Just turn over slightly, come up to seated. We're going to use the bands. So, taking a band, we're going to place it around. So if you've got these gaiter bands, You don't really want to be using anything heavier than there. What's this one? This is the tucker. So the second one, I would say. There's 4 bands and this is the second tension, so it's not too tight. So from here, you're going to sit and you want to look square. What we're going to be doing is almost like a rowing rotation where you pull and you come back. So I'm just, again, hips are square and I'm just rotating from the other, rotating the upper body. You can either place your hand here or just rest the arm on the floor, the hand on the floor, or have it on your hip. You could even have it on your head if you want to work a little bit harder as you rotate. You try not to collapse in the spine. As you rotate, lift up, working the core, working the arm, doing 10 here. Good. As you pull that band backwards, try not to let the shoulder lift up, elbow goes behind you. Let's do 2 more. My counting was terrible today, I'm sorry. And last one. Hold it there, drop the shoulder down, rotate back to the centre, swap sides. It's quite a fun exercise using the band. Okay, are you ready? Placing those hands in, you turn and rotate in that upper body, shoulder down. Try not to go into extension. Core wants to hold you as you rotate. Really use that out breath. Well done, guys. Lovely. I'm actually holding the tension in my hand all the time, so I'm not releasing it all, keeping that tension so that shoulder's working a little bit harder. Good. 4 more. 3. Can you feel this in that pelvic floor, in your core? You're going to feel it in your arm, obviously. Let's do 2 more. I'm enjoying this too much. Hopefully you are too. And last one. Hold it there. Slowly release. Well done. Okay, from here, we are going to turn over. We're going to come into a plank with a little tuck, so we're going to be bringing our leg in. Now, if you don't want to plank, you come into a neutral. You can lift the leg out or out. Take it out. Let's lift it out if you're doing this modification. And then draw the knee in. You scoop and tuck. You're really arcing the spine. You then lengthen the leg just into a parallel position. We're not going into a back bend. Now, if you want to take it up, we can come into a plank. So just find that neutral to start. Make sure the shoulders are going away from the ears. Your head's not sinking. Push away from the floor, one leg and the other. You're coming into a downward facing dog. Lift that leg. You come into a tucked position, balancing on the knee, so it's like a one-leg bear position that you're tucking. Then you're coming back into that one leg downward facing dog. Try not to rotate, keep square, and it's that scooping where you're going to really get that core connection, that tucking the knee towards the head, arcing the spine. And we're going to do 10 on either side. This is number 4. Really hold that position there for a couple of seconds. You can hear in my voice that I'm having to really use that core. Number 7. Well done. Keep going if you can. Draw the knee in rather than the head towards the knee. 1 more. And have a breather before going into the other leg. Just come into downward facing dog, into rest position slowly. Lots of blood to the head.
So if you prefer to do it on the knee, that's absolutely fine. This is a little bit more challenging for the whole body. Maybe the shoulders are feeling a little bit more, so take the arms down by the feet. Release everything to the floor. It's going to allow you to let everything fall towards the floor rather than scooping the tongue away from the thighs. Okay, how are we? Are we ready?
Next set on the other side. So as I say, we're doing 4-point kneeling. Make sure you're going into the sunken position, the extension in your spine. You want to be neutral, and then you tuck. So it's neutral, and then tuck. Let's come into that plank. If not, or downward facing dog. Lifting up that other leg. Just make sure your feet are in alignment with your body. Is everything in alignment? You can use the mat to help with that. Lift up, bend the knee and scoop. And you tuck. Bending that supported knee. Can you feel this through the core? Hopefully you can. Another 4 to go. Really tough. Two more. Last one. Coming into downward facing dog. Walk those feet out. Chest towards the feet, not the head. And then just coming down into rest position.
Well done. You can have one more quick exercise.
I know I'm overrunning a little bit, sorry. It's just too good to stop now. So coming down, elbow on one side is on the floor, the other side we're rotating out. So we're not staying square, we're rotating. We're going to be working the core one last time with the leg. 10 on either side. Are you ready? Bring the knee in, high, keep the leg high. We're going to be working the obliques. Pelvis shouldn't be moving, the core should be connected, torso stable, and you're just moving from that hip joint. 10 to 15 here. Really keep that knee high as it comes in, shoulders away from the ears. You know the score. Pelvic floor switched on. And let's do another 5, 4. You're going to be feeling in the bottom and the tummy. 2. And 1. Hold it there. Let's just pulse that leg for 10, 9, 8. Hold it here in the top core. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Swap sides. Just going to turn around so you can see. Last exercise of the workout, so let's really work hard. Hand on the floor. Try not to sink in the shoulders. And off we go. Leg towards that knee. Woo. Good. Hold that knee up high. Well done. Really feeling this in my pelvic floor, in my tummy, in my leg and bottom. Lots going on. Let's do another 5. Are you ready? 5. Really lift that knee up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lengthen that leg away and lift it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down into rest position and stretch it out.
feet. So hopefully you're balancing on your forehead and you're really lengthening through the spine, trying to get the bottom onto the heels. Holding it there for 3, for 2, and for 1. We're going to come out into a little extension. So coming down onto the floor, roll up from the forehead onto the tip of the nose, then look forward. The head comes up. And then we're lifting into that cobra. Just be careful with this. Core should be strong to help support the spine. Head and eyes are the last thing that come back down. Make sure the hands are by the side of the ears, sort of tucked in. Rolling, looking forward, shoulders down, and lift up. Often see shoulders up here, let's squeeze them away. Helps with that lift as well. Good. Extension is so important as we get older, particularly in perimenopause, menopause time, when estrogen drops, can really help with bone density through the spine. So even if you are just here, go where you can, it's going to be doing some really good things for your spine. 2 more here. Exhale, lifting up. Well done. Last one. And forward, coming up, shoulders down, and all the way down. Bring the head in. Let's just put the hands slightly more, the lower down, push up, and we're going to come into a kneeling position. Just going to reach over one side, then the other. Work the obliques a lot today. So a lot of those exercises, you may have been thinking, I'm feeling this elsewhere, not in my core, but actually you're really working the core with lots of those exercises. That full body work. And often, when you're focusing on one body part, it helps take the focus off another part. So well done. Coming back, let's take the hands, let's just rotate one way, hold it there, hips staying forward as much as possible. Drop those shoulders down. Coming into the centre line, we're just going to stand up. Well done. Move that cushion out the way. We're going to reach those arms up and back down. And one more. Sorry, someone's trying to get into my door. Last one. Bring them up. Hands down through your heart centre. Deep breath in and shake it all out. Well done, guys. Thanks for joining me. Those who have joined live, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how your week's been. I hope you've enjoyed all the classes. We are back next week. The schedule is going up very shortly, later today. So please keep an eye out for that so you can pop the dates in diary times even. And have a great weekend. And if you're catching up on demand, hope it went well. Let me know. Take care.